In that statement today by the naval command in Argentina, they refuse to comment on what might be the possible cause of this explosion, and they will refuse to say anything on this until they have the full information before them, limiting themselves only to saying this was a singular, violent, abnormal, short, and non-nuclear explosion. It suggests then that this was a catastrophic event which has left this submarine moribund and raises serious questions over the chances of survival of its 44 crew members. Local media in Argentina, it is important to say, is quoting unnamed sources from within Argentina's Navy, which they say are claiming it's likely to have been the fault of a short circuit within the submarine's power system, something which they say has happened on repeated occasions in what are very old submarines in the Argentine fleet, built some 30 years ago.
And the government has been criticised for not doing enough to put money into the infrastructure of the Navy and for being slow to respond to what's happened. How are authorities where you are responding to that criticism?
Well, that criticism, by any objective standard, is very justified. Argentina has severely underspent on its military ever since the end of its last military dictatorship in the early 1980s. That's entirely deliberate and is for political reasons. It's to prevent what might be another coup d'etat against the democratic governments of Argentina. Nevertheless, that political position has left the country very short in the military field, as symbolized by its very small and very old submarine fleets, one of which is this missing submarine. The latest statistics available are from 2015, and they show that between these three submarines in the Argentine fleet, they spent a total of 19 hours submerged during that year, when the global standard is some 190 days. This is a severely underfunded naval force. Now, in terms of response to this current crisis in this search for this missing submarine, in that statement, the latest statement by Argentina's naval command, it came out quite forcefully saying that they, in their opinion, have followed all protocol in terms of timing and time spent on this search and rescue mission and the methods used for it. Nevertheless, that statement is not placating the families of the missing crew members, whose levels of despair and anger are rising as the clock ticks down. This race against time to potentially look for these missing crew members reaches a critical stage, and the possibilities of tragedy become ever more real.